Well, let's toss it over to Zach Mackey and Taylor Brooks, who are in the sports studio for more on the black and gold. Guys, not the best news for the Hawkeye Athletics this weekend. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Unfortunate news indeed, Abby, as I'm sure that's not the publicity the Iowa wrestling team wants after wrapping up such a successful season. But we've got some other news about another Hawkeye team that's finished up their season Sunday night.
That's right, Zach. The number 7 seed Iowa men's basketball team was defeated by second-seeded Gonzaga in the third round of the NCAA tournament.
Iowa struggled offensively as the Bulldogs were able to score 22 points off of Iowa's 11 turnovers. Now, Gonzaga shot better than 60% in both halves, making 10 of 16 baskets from beyond the arc, compared to Iowa's just 46.7%.
Iowa tried to make it a game as they kept trimming the score within single digits, but Gonzaga had an answer to every Iowa basket. The Zags finished the game with a 10-0 run, making the final score 87-68.
It was Jared Uthoff who was the leading scorer for the Hawkeyes with 20 points and 8 rebounds. Aaron White, in his final game as a Hawkeye, was just behind the junior forward with 19 points and was 7 of 13 from the field. Iowa finished the season with a 22-12 overall record and had its first tournament victory since 2001.
Gonzaga, along with Kentucky, West Virginia, Notre Dame, Wichita State, Wisconsin, and North Carolina,
as well as Xavier, Arizona, North Carolina State, Louisville, Oklahoma, Michigan State, Duke, Utah, and UCLA advanced to the Sweet 16.
Wisconsin and Michigan State are the only 2 Big Ten teams left in the tournament, and no other teams from Iowa are still contenders after Northern Iowa lost to the Louisville Cardinals last night 66-53 in the same round as the Hawkeyes.
That they did. The round will begin this Thursday and continue through Friday.
Now that women's basketball is the only winter sport left in action, our Whip Around crew has the latest from our spring sports are faring.
Take it away, guys.
Thanks, guys. I'm Hannah Thompson. This past weekend, the Iowa softball team fell hard against Maryland at home, losing 19-0 in just 5 innings. The Terrapins took the lead early, scoring 8 runs in the first inning and leaving the Hawkeyes in the dust as the game went on. This loss brings the Hawkeyes to a 10-22 record for the overall season and 1-2 for conference play. The Iowa softball team will be back in action this Tuesday against Nebraska at Pearl Field. Now to toss things over to Mark Fry for more on Hawkeye tennis.
Thanks, Hannah. The Iowa men's tennis team won their Big Ten home opener against the Wisconsin Badgers on Sunday. Iowa junior Dominic Patrick helped propel the Hawkeyes with a gutsy performance in the singles. Patrick lost his first set but went back to win 2 straight sets, sealing the victory for himself and projecting Iowa to a 4-2 lead. Iowa now sits at 9-4 overall and 1-1 in the Big Ten. They will return to action March 27th with a home game against Michigan. I'll now send it over to Aaron Gallagher, who has an update on baseball.
Thanks, Mark. The Iowa baseball team traveled to Lawrence, Kansas this past weekend for a 3-game series against the Jayhawks. The Hawkeyes dropped the first game on Friday in a 4-3 decision despite their 9th-inning rally. On Saturday, it was the Jayhawks who came up short in the final inning as the Hawkeyes won 6-4. In the final game on Sunday, the Hawkeyes used 6 pitchers to win 6-2 to win the series. The Hawks will be back in action here at Dwayne Banks Field as they host the Bradley Braves this Wednesday. That does it for us at the Whip. Back to you guys in the studio.
As the baseball team is continuing to get into the core of their season, there is one Hawkeye you should have your eye on.
That's right. That man's senior second baseman Jake Mangler. Last season, he turned himself into an All-Big Ten and All-Region honoree. He put up career-best numbers across the board as a junior, hitting .315 with a team-best 45 RBIs, scoring 38 runs, and also had 13 extra base hits go along with it.
Mangler also helped his team in their series over the weekend, being 2 for 5 with a run and an RBI. Head coach Rick Heller said, quote, "He's a solid all-around hitter. He does a great job defensively, is arguably our best clutch hitter, does well on the base pass, and is a hustle and energy guy." End quote.
I've got to see Jake play a lot, Taylor, and he is something special, a captain of that infield.
And as Aaron said earlier in the Whip Round, they come back to Iowa City on Wednesday. Hopefully the weather holds out, and I would love to watch some spring baseball.
Let's hope so. And that will do it for us here in the sports studio, but be sure to tune in tomorrow as we have the latest from the Iowa Hawkeyes who attended Pro Day and who to expect come the NFL Draft.
Selena and Abby, back to you.